Good morning, everyone. This is Russell with Russell Does Stuff, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I work 6 hours on Monday, 6 hours on Tuesday, and when I don't get finished up, I'll take care of on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and hopefully it's nothing more than a couple hours worth of work. This morning I'm here at CATES Farms. He sells produce. This is Morganton, Georgia. I think he also sells firewood. He's got a big farm here. And I'll let him tell you a little bit about this place when he's done talking to a customer. He's a young man. He's in his early 30s. He's bought this property here, and he decided to start his own farm. And when he breaks away from his customer for a minute, hey, you got a second? You want to talk to my subscribers? Come on, get over here. I'm going to turn the camera on. Tell everybody what your name is.
My name is Caleb Griggs. My wife and I own CATES Farms. We're a small startup farm in North Georgia. I don't know if you could call us a market garden or a small farm, but we're 22 acres here in Morganton, and we grow various different crops. All your summer crops, beans, squash, sweet corn, tomatoes, cantaloupe, things like that. And then our big fall thing is pumpkins. We do the hay rides, and you pick pumpkins and things like that.
On this channel, we're interested in business, entrepreneurship, and stuff. When did you start your farm?
Good question. The farm kind of started with my first piece of equipment, which was that John Deere tractor over there.
Over here?
Yeah, we bought that.
Nice color.
We knew that we wanted to farm, and we didn't have any land, and our parents didn't farm before us. So John Deere was running a promotion where it was 0% down and 0% financing. So without any money, we bought the tractor and knew we'd make it if we could plow people's gardens for them and bush hog and scrape driveways. And then it was just piecing the equipment together, and then the providence of the Lord, we were able to buy this piece of property and start honing our craft of growing the crops. So it's just been kind of one little piece at a time since about 2012.
Now, when you planned on doing this, you put a plan together, right? You just didn't decide, hey, I'm going to quit my job and jump over here and start this business. Tell them how many months you gave your previous employer before you did this. And I always preach in my videos, proper planning equals
prevents piss poor performance.
Yes. So tell us about that real quick.
Yeah, it was definitely planned out. It was kind of like when Squints kissed Wendy Peppercorn in The Sandlot. They asked him, "Did you plan that?" And he said, "Of course I was planning it. I planned it for years." So out of high school, when I knew that I wanted to farm, I started working for a farm in town locally, and would work there as a bag boy and things like that. And when my shifts would end, I would study growing produce and things like that. And that allowed me to kind of climb the ladder at that company, and that helped me learn the trade and the other farmers in the area. And so I built relationships and just learned the craft, and waited for my opportunity to get some land so that I could try it on my own, and failed a lot.
You gotta fail, don't you?
Our first several crops were utter failures, picked very little produce. And so it was just, a lot of people will say that you learn far more from failure than you do success. So our failures were a blessing. We didn't let it keep us from trying new. And so I think for every farmer, every year there's going to be failures in that. And so if you've been in business for 80 years and you're in your fourth or fifth generation, every year has its own failures, and some of them can be your fault, and some of them can be the fault of the weather and things like that. But I heard one farmer say one time, and it was very wise, but he told me that you really never add something to a crop or do something to a crop that adds to your yield. You merely treat a crop or do something to a crop
Right.
that reduces your loss.
Yeah.
And so that's one of those things. Even if you're picking 300 or 400 bushel corn, or if you're having record-breaking yields, you still have had failures in even almost a perfect crop because farmers never achieve maximum yield.
Right. You're
So,
always solving a problem.
right, you're
Yeah.
solving problems and you're mitigating things that causes loss.
I
So,
always said I was never the best lawn care and landscaper, but I was the most responsible, the hardest working, and you'll eventually get there.
right,
You'll become an expert at something. You got to put in the work and you got to put in the hours. I had a boss that wouldn't hire anybody unless they poured concrete wrong. You got to learn. You got to learn how to do things wrong first before you do things right.
Right.
So tell us more about this tractor. I see the seats wore out.
Yeah, that seat's wore out.
How many hours? You got seat time in this thing?
Yeah, we've got seat time in it. Like I said, this is what got our start, and it was what we started out doing was John Deere offered the tractor, with zero money down, and I had to buy new because I couldn't afford to buy used. So
Sheffield does that. Like I'll buy equipment at zero down,
yeah,
and then just ignore the payment.
Right.
Right. What tractor payment? Just
right.
Pretend you don't have it, and then you're not stressing.
So the tractor came with a deal. They said you could get $1,500 off on the tractor if you bought 2 implements with it. So I chose a 6-foot bush hog and a 2-bottom moldboard plow so that I could start doing tractor for hire. And we just went to work. The payment, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was $292 a month, and I was charging $50 an hour to do bush hogging. So I figured to myself, if I can work 6 hours a month, the tractor will be essentially free. So I'm just trading 6 hours of my time per month to start my farm journey with the first piece of machinery. And then after that, we decided that a lot of the guys in the area that ran cattle would make hay on other people's property. So property owners that had grassland would let haymakers cut the hay twice a year for free so that they would have their property maintained. And I thought, okay, well, that would be a good opportunity to purchase a piece of land. We could piece together old hay equipment and start making hay on other people's land, and then possibly purchase hay land by cutting the hay on it. So use the yield of the hay to pay for the land. And that actually was exactly what happened when this farm come up for sale. It was in hayfield. And so I paid those payments for the first several years by square baling hay and selling it to horse owners.
I have a question.
Yes,
now,
sir.
Your property's low lying here where your farm is.
Yes.
So are you worried about soil quality and stuff? Is that why you've grown corn out there to try to boost the soil? Or
so there's a real big creek that follows that wood line over there, and it's notorious for flooding, which, just like in most of America's food, is produced in the Mississippi Delta, which is notorious for flood. So flood is a two-edged sword. It has the ability to destroy your crops, but it's also depositing fertile ground. The reason why the Mississippi is so fertile is it's getting all of the deposits in the flood. So and that can be, from the source of topsoil that's eroding upstream to depositing manure and things like that in runoff from grazing ground. So this property is notorious for flooding, but it's fertile ground, and
double-edged sword.
It's a double-edged sword. You have to win some and lose some.
Night, you're laying in bed, you're worried.
I am when hurricanes come through.
Nobody likes mowing wet grass, and no one likes farming a wet field.
No, certainly not. But there again, it's a two-edged sword. From time to time, when it rains too much, we'll have crops that drown, and we'll lose crops that way. But when it's dry, because the water table is so high in the ground here, without irrigation, you almost never see drought stress in your crops. So pick your poison.
Tell everybody your hours.
Our hours are Monday through Sunday, 10 to 5, or excuse me, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5. We're open a half day on Sunday from 1 to 5. It's Kate Farms in Morganton, Georgia, so come check us out.
Tell everybody your name one more time.
I'm Caleb Griggs, and my wife is Ashley Griggs.
All right, knuckleball.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Y'all come see us.
This is Russell with Russell Does Stuff, and come on down and see.
I'm gonna be on YouTube.
On here, I heard that. I'm sorry.
I was just telling her that he's got his
I was just
YouTube
telling her
channel.
we're not great at stuff
He
like that.
picked the biggest introvert in North